Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy Bronze the God coming at you with a video. I got a special guest up here.
Oh, it's bee's knees.
The bee's knees is up here, and we're gonna go through
No,
this.
bee's knees, not the bee's knees. Bee's knees.
Bee's knees is up here, and we're gonna go through this Joe Rogan situation, which is absolutely insane. For those of you that don't know, Joe Rogan is an old actor, I guess you could call him that. He used to star on this. He used to be actually the host on this show called Fear Factor back in the early 2000s. Now, bee's knees. Have you heard anything about that? The Joe Rogan
Oh
situation?
snap! So he used to be the host for the Fear Factor. Why was I thinking of him on the UFC?
Yeah, he does the UFC stuff too.
Oh, okay. I was just about to say, well, like, I thought he was like a fighter for the UFC or something. I don't know.
Nah, I think he just like is like an analyst or a play by play kind of guy.
Oh, I totally forgot about Fear Factor. Well, he
Yeah, he
looks
was.
different. I guess different now. I don't know.
Well, he
Cause he's
old
like
now.
bald, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old now and everything. So
Uh,
yeah, we're gonna dive into this
you know
content.
how them white people age.
Yeah, and that's the thing here. So Joe Rogan apparently has been saying the N word for the last
They
forever.
age like Swiss cheese.
But yeah, what you think? What you think about this whole situation with him using the N word?
Well, let's see. Number one, he's white. Number two, that's expected. Number three, did I mention he's white? And then number four, I mean, if we've let him go this long, why is there such a baffle about it now?
Well, do you think it could be tied to the white liberals trying to cancel him because of misinformation on C-19? That's what I
What are
think.
they, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
They've been after him the last about 6 months, and now he just got that big deal with Spotify.
Oh, please, the dude. Okay, and then what? He's just gonna get on something else and say it. The man wants to say it, so therefore he's gonna say it. I mean, if he's been doing it this long, that means he feels like he can say it when he wants, however he wants, in whatever context he feels. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna cancel him on one platform. What he's gonna do? Just jump to another?
Well, yeah, and plus Joe Rogan got a lot of following and a lot of backing and a lot of money.
Yeah, I know, because there's a bunch of white people and a bunch of coons.
Well, we're gonna get into this video. I'm about to hit the share screen now.
Is he gonna say a bunch of the N words?
Nah, he's actually not. He's actually got a BS apology going on right
Oh
now.
God. Okay, what they got to say now?
Let's see. Okay, if you want me to pause it at any point, I can pause it.
No, just play it. I don't like that stop and play stuff. Just play it.
Okay. All right. Let me turn off my mic here.
Yeah, he looks like Fester from the Adams Family.
Hello, friends. I'm making
He really looks like Fester from the Adams Family. You gonna play it? You gonna play it? It's not
this
playing.
video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation and instead of saying the N word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was
Hold up. So, what context can a white person use the N word and it be okay?
I just want to say just one thing. First, he said, that's what I noticed when he said people shouldn't use that word on a public platform. So he insinuates, I'm assuming that he's okay with using it in private.
Oh,
Then
absolutely,
number
absolutely. If he'll use
two,
it on the camera, he'll definitely use it in
number
private.
two,
He's
the he using it in context. I feel like unless he was directly quoting somebody, like literally reading a quote and saying this is what so and so said, and even then I wouldn't even say the whole word. I would just be like explicitive, expletive, I would say something like that. I wouldn't necessarily say the word. And then number three, I just cannot get over. He looks like Fester from the Addams Family. Like, I just can't. I don't know what. He
well,
looks
anyway,
like
we're gonna get
Fester.
into that. He does actually say he's quoting somebody. He's quoting Red Fox. He's quoting Richard
I feel
Pryor,
like those fish off of
people like that.
SpongeBob. Meep, meep.
So yeah, let's get into that.
Okay, just play.
Was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was
Can you
quoting
pause
a
the
Paul
video?
Mooney bit, or a,
Can you pause the video? Pause the video. Okay,
Yeah.
aren't those men black?
Yes.
Okay, I don't understand what he's trying to do there. Like, I'm pretty sure that they can say it. I mean, why can't they?
But basically, what he's trying to insist is, well, if they're saying it, well, why can't I say it?
Okay, no, 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 no. First of all, they're black. So, and he knows that first of all, that's not a, you can't play dumb with that type of thing because he knows that they're black. I'm pretty sure he knows that. So that's ridiculous. That's very very ridiculous. That's like a dumb argument, but okay. Come on with it.
I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction. Or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word and he said it out loud and they fired him. Not calling anybody or just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's
See, there it is.
Triple,
Um,
quadruple, oof.
well, well, all these black people, these rappers, these actors are all using it, and why can't I use it? There it is, the fake outrage right there, staring you
No,
right in the face.
I don't feel that way. I feel like if he wants to say it, let him say it. Why not? I mean, if he wants to say it, let him say it. I mean, of course, whatever happens after that happens. But don't, I feel like if you want to say it and you want to stand on your word and say it, then you do that. Stand
Well,
on your
I'll
word
say
and
this,
say it
dog.
how you feel. But don't try to give like a
Well,
lousy apology. If that's how you feel, just say how you feel. And then you just be like, hey, I
I'll
want to
say
say
this.
this word and I'm going to
Apparently,
say it.
so who is really outraged here? You think it's the black community or is it the white
I don't
left and
see why
white
they would
liberal?
be. This is not. I mean, I'm not because it's like okay,
I mean, so you
another
think
white guy doing what white guys do.
so do you think it's the white leftists once again trying to shoehorn us into one of their movements to try and get Joe Rogan canceled?
I mean, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna say, "Oh, he can't be on YouTube anymore." Okay, and he's just gonna go on somewhere else. I
Well,
mean,
you were you aware that Spotify actually gave Joe Rogan like $100 million deal to be on their platform?
Okay, exactly. So I, I'm pretty sure if he gets in within contract, he's gonna just do what he wants, or not do what he wants, but I mean he's gonna act according to the contract. So I'm pretty sure he's not gonna be saying it anymore because I'm pretty sure he'd probably get in trouble with them. But I mean, I would change my act too for $100 million. This might give me a contract. I ain't gonna lie. Just saying. I mean, but as far as this goes, him on what is it, YouTube? Him saying that compilation video on YouTube, I feel like let the man say it. Let him say it.
I actually seen that on Twitter.
I mean, what are they gonna do to cancel? Like he can't be on YouTube anymore because he said the N word. Oh,
All right, anyway, let
Not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for
now,
years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist. But whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say, there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, holy shit, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes over 12 years. I've said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab and we got dropped off in this all black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining. And I said, we got out and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor
my thing is, okay, whenever black people, we as black people bring up something about race, white people often always say, "Oh, everybody's an American, everybody's equal." So why did Joe Rogan just equate getting dropped
nah.
off in a black
No,
neighborhood?
no, he did.
to
He just pulled a Roseanne. My medicine made me racist. I was high, so
Well, he,
that
he
made
he
me.
didn't say he was on any medicine.
He said he was high. He said they got
Oh
high.
yeah,
And
he did say he was high. He did say he was high.
yeah, so basically, whatever. Yeah, that made me racist,
But
just like Roseanne. My medicine made me racist,
my
made me say those racist things.
well,
If I
see,
wasn't on
my
that
thing is,
medicine,
well, why are you equating a an all black neighborhood, which I thought hadn't existed since the '60s, to Africa and being in Planet of the Apes if you're not racist?
well, I mean, hey, if you're a couple of white people. Well, what they say, you get dropped off in the jungle. That's probably how he felt. I mean, he probably thought that of all places for a white guy to be dropped off,
And how
you do
long have
this.
you been at this podcast and stuff and been saying all this stuff? What did he say? 10, 12 years? Over a decade?
I just want to know what he talking about some. When he said he screwed up and he's trying to make this into a learning, and I'm like, what are we learning about this again? Because all
Yeah.
I hear
Well,
is
my thing is, white people shouldn't be teaching black people about the N word, about racism, or anything like that. Point blank, period.
I mean, I agree, but I mean, he's
So,
white and
what is there to
he's
teach?
white and he's what and he what?
This is a learning moment. This is
He's
a learning
no
moment.
he I'm white and I'm what? I'm white and I say so. So therefore, that's what that is.
Anyway, let's play the rest of the clip.
or would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It
Oh
wasn't a
God,
racist story,
we
but
went
it
to a black
sounded terrible.
neighborhood.
And like I
That
said,
sounds terrible.
you can have clunky stories
That's
about anything.
What, you had something to say?
No, because he said it was a wonderful experience going to see Planet of the Apes in a black neighborhood. I'm like, Joe, that's terrible. That's terrible. Just saying, that's terrible. It's just so different. Like I could never experience something different in a different neighborhood. Oh my goodness. Lord Jesus, help us all.
But not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say. And I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And I certainly would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism. My hope is that, look, I can't go back in time and change what I've said. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. But I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies. I wish there was more that I could say, but all of this is just me talking from the bottom of my heart. It makes me sick watching that video, but hopefully, at least some of you will accept this and understand where I'm coming from. My apologies and much love. My sincere, deepest apologies and much love. Hello, friend.
Well,
So what you think of that?
it was lame.
It was lame. Could you go into that a little bit more?
It's lame because well, for one, I mean, he didn't really apologize.
No,
I
he
mean,
just basically said, "Oh well, I'm not racist because I said these things." That's him trying to frame racism. White people do that all the time, and I feel like as black people, we should not allow that.
I mean, I feel like it's lame because it wasn't a real apology. And then two, he just I think he's just talking outside of his mouth. That's it. He's just talking, just blabbering, and nothing's coming out.
What, he's giving some of that male babble, you say?
Mayo babble. Hmm. I applied. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. Just he was just babbling about just babbling about nothing. Truthfully,
Yeah, he
and
was
honestly, when I
babbling
look
pretty
at
bad.
it, I feel like that wasn't an apology to black people per se.
No, he didn't even apologize to the community as a whole.
It wasn't an apology for black people.
No, it wasn't. Like I said, black people apparently had no problem with this guy running around and saying the N word all of
And
these
that's
years.
why I said that earlier. Like he's been doing it. The only problem that people that got with it is like you say, white liberal people. That's about it. So it wasn't an apology for black people. It was an apology for them, or a
So,
half-witted attempt at that.
so I feel like this is them once again trying to shoehorn us into getting behind and canceling Joe Rogan. So now people will look back and say, "Oh, well, black people canceled Joe Rogan." Something that they
Yeah.
constantly do always.
Well, I mean, did you got some black people that be like, yes, we do need to get down, but he needs to be taken down on what? So he can go. I think he wants to be taken down because that means he'll roll right up into his $100 million contract.
Now, B's knees. Have you actually seen the actual clips and videos of it?
No, nor do I want to.
Oh, you don't want to review them or anything like that?
Nah,
Oh,
because why? I don't need to see some babbling buffoon saying some words over and over and over and over and over again. I mean,
okay.
because he just did that. We just watched that, and he didn't even say the N word.
Okay, well, I guess that's a wrap on this video then. So, guys, could
I
you
do
please
want to say
like?
one thing. I do want to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Um, see, we see white people, the white community, the white people. See, they do stuff like that. They're not. They never when they have these half attempted apologies and whatever these whack things that they say. They are never apologizing to black people, the black community. They're not apologizing on their behalf. They're apologizing on behalf of their own selves, other white people. That's what they're doing. They're not apologizing to us. I mean, and then that what we just watched, that was obvious. Like he spent 5 minutes saying a lot of nothing. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get canceled.
I don't think so either. He has too much backing behind him.
It's not even that. It's not even that. That's
Because I mean,
it's,
Joe Rogan literally moves algorithms and stuff like that. Like he has that.
it's not even that. Like, there's too many people that like watch him to really. And I'm pretty sure there's a
That's
lot of black
basically
people
what I
that
just
watch
said.
him too. Probably be like, that ain't nothing. That's nothing to get mad over, because I've seen on like people commenting on different things where a lot of black people are okay with white people saying that. You got white people out here saying it without the hard R, and I don't think they should do that. I don't think you should say it with or without the hard R. And you got white people out here saying it without the hard R, and black people, a lot of black people are okay with that. So, and it's
Yeah.
really cringe sometimes because I be wanting to say something a lot of the time, but I'm like, they're not gonna listen. They don't listen to reason, because why would
Well,
they? They feel like
my
they
th-
are the reason.
well, my thing is, since they feel like they are the reason, then we need to go into detail and ask them specific questions of why this is happening and why that is happening. Why is black people not written in the Constitution originally? Why did the Constitution need amendments in the first place for black people? Why did it take so long for black people to gain civil rights?
Because
If
they
America's
feel
not
like
a
they're
racist
the chosen
country, then
ones.
if America's not a racist country, then why is all this happening?
Okay, because for one,
We need to be
for
constantly
one,
drilled on as to why that is.
okay, you know we watched the regular show, right? You
Okay.
remember Mr. Maylard at the end, the very last episode, where he was crying about Pops dying, sacrificing himself, when in fact he's the one that put up the dome and wanted them to leave in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of equate white people. They're kind of like that. It's like they say certain things, but then when they're the ones that put action into play to prevent people from doing stuff, such as like the Constitution and all that. How
So you
they're not
think white
written.
people just practice just a collective cognitive dissonance with this?
No, they say things. They say what sounds good to make it sound good, because it's like, well, if I say this will make it sound like we were great the whole time. I mean, that's I feel like America is kind of like a marriage, a bad marriage, where like, you go through horrible, 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 horrible things, cheating, beating, all the emotional and physical abuse you can endure in a marriage, and then just to only be like at the end of it, be like, well, we stuck it out with each other, so we both love each other and we stuck it out. Not and the other people not knowing that they went through hell and back in their marriage. I feel like America's like a bad marriage. It's like to the outside, people are like, "Oh my gosh, they're such a perfect married couple," and on the inside, it's like, they're like public enemy number one to each other.
Well, my thing is, why would you stay married
What
to
do you mean?
a person that's abusing you? If that's the case, since you're saying black people and are in a
I
marriage with
mean,
their,
because some humans are very slow. I mean, for an
do you
example,
think
for
do you think
myself,
there's a collective
my
Stockholm
mom used to
syndrome?
get beat on all the time, and she stuck it out for a
So
long time,
do
and
you
I
think
never understood why.
do you think it's a collective Stockholm syndrome that goes on with black people
I
in
mean, it could
America?
be, and then you feel like you can fix somebody to make them not hurt you anymore.
And black people do try to feel like they can modify
Well,
and
see, that's another thing I don't understand. I don't understand why black people are so nice to people. Like I don't get it because I could never. Like no, I don't. I'm not that. Well, we gotta be. We not everybody's racist. Not all white people are racist. I don't
that's
believe
called
that
escapism.
malarkey.
That's
I
called
do
escapism.
not.
That's called escapism. That's what that is.
Especially that I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna go there, but because I was gonna go on something else. Not gonna do it. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people when they're like when married people are like that and they have those bad marriages, of course they're gonna stay because they just gotta work it out. They just got to. And to everybody else, meaning like all the other countries, to everybody else, oh, America is the place to be. America's number one, and they've been selling that lie for I don't know how long, but
America's
they.
not. It's not number one.
I
We're
know, but that's
literally
my
in a
point. They
penal
try to
colony.
sell the point that they are when they're not. That's my point. You know, so they try to sell this. Well, we're this and we're that, and then but when you actually look at them and get into the mirror, and it's like, oh crap, Jesus Christ. And that same question be like, well, why don't you just leave and go somewhere else? Or why don't you get out your marriage? And a lot of people, they just don't because they feel like they can fix somebody or they feel obligated to stay. Like they are obligated to. And for like from some strange unknown reason, I think black people feel obligated, like they have to prove. They always have to prove something, which I don't understand. I've never understood that. Well, black people always feel like they have to prove something. It's always well, we can prove to them that we can do this. We can prove to them that we can do that. We can prove to them that we can overcome this. We can prove to them that we can overcome that. When in reality, they literally built this country from the ground up off of violence and traumatic experiences. Shouldn't that be proof enough that you can do something? Why do you what are you constantly still having tried to prove? Why is it always we can prove we can do this? When you look at it, it's already been done. You've already proven. You we have proof that Stockholm syndrome and generational trauma is real. We have proof of that. We have proof that they already did this to us. We
So
already
then,
have
how do
have
we deal
proof
with
that
that?
they made this country off of us, off of black people.
So
We
then, how do
already
we
have
deal
proof
with
of
that?
that. Huh?
How do we deal with that?
How do we deal with that? Look. If I had the answer to that, I would give it to you. But I'm not gonna. I don't have the answer to that. And I feel like, does anybody really have the answer to that? Because you can say stuff all day long, but is people gonna listen to you? Are they gonna do what you say?
So
See, we have a collective as a people, as a black people. We have a collective as a whole. But then on the other hand, we have each individual person, and each individual how they think certain stuff should go, and that's the only thing, you know. And at the end of the day, people are people, and they're gonna do what people do. And like I say, black people have been proven that they've done all these things. Like we prove that we literally built this country off of our backs. Why do I need to prove something else? Why do we need to prove that that we could do this, that, and the third. Why? Why?
Well, I think for one, we need to prove to ourselves that we can win for ourselves. Because black people have never seen a win for themselves. They literally work for everybody else. And that's the whole point of this video.
They did, but then they wanted to be integrated with each other.
Well, that's a whole different video for another day.
Just saying they did, but they wanted to be integrated with each other. You know. But I don't have the answer to that. I really don't. I can't lie. I don't have the answer to that. I don't know. I don't have the answer to it
Do you
because,
think
like,
studying
you
people
could.
like Nellie Fuller Jr. and Dr. Claude Anderson would help? Because those guys
Okay,
seem to have an
but like
actual
I
point.
said, at the end of the day, people are people. You can do stuff as a collective whole. Yes, you can do that. But then everybody has their own individual mind. So
See, here's
you can
my thing.
say all words.
I don't think black people need a critical mass to do anything.
Okay, but then okay, let me give you could offer somebody millions and millions of dollars to do something.
I
They
think
might
you
not
just need
do
to
it.
in my opinion, you just need to find a small group of individuals with the same mindset and work with those individuals.
I don't know. It's such a slippery slope with things because I feel like when you say get certain individuals that are like minded, I mean,
I said,
yeah, I
well,
mean
it's
you
just
can
a
do
small
that.
group of individuals that are like minded, that are most like minded like you. Then maybe if you have pockets of those people working together, then maybe as a collective we can work towards the same goal.
Yes, but I'm also like I keep saying, I'm also aware that people have their own mind.
Which
I
is
keep
why I
saying
say you
that
need
because
to find
I
the
keep
most
saying
like
that
minded people to work together.
I understand what you're saying, but you know, people, regardless of how things are going right now between the different, people, white people, the white supremacy and all that, regardless of that, people are allowed to think what they want or to allow to do what they feel like that's best for them. Even these cooning people that we have here, I feel like they're probably in their mind, they're probably doing what they think is best for
And
them and their family.
in my opinion, they need to be dragged viciously, publicly, until they're literally dragged out of existence.
Eh,
Because
I don't necessarily agree with that.
those are the gatekeepers to your true enemy.
Okay. But at the end of the day, they're still suffering just like you. They
Yes,
might
but
be
they've also
coons.
made their
They might
choice.
be coons, but they still suffer.
They've
But
also
I'm
made their
just,
choice.
yeah.
And that cooning needs to be de-incentivized. Because right now, cooning pays a
And how
lot
do
of
you do
money.
that?
Candace
By
Owens,
dragging them and wiping them off out of existence.
yes, you have to make something punishable.
Hmm. That's a slippery slope
Not
because
a
at
slippery
some
slope.
point you cannot control how people think and how people feel in their mind. That's a
Why
slippery slope
white people do it?
because then it'll come time for you and you might not agree with something and somebody thinks that you need to be dragged out of existence. But then you're not going to agree with that because you're going to be like, well, I don't want to do that. But
Because
see,
I can defend
if you're
myself.
if you're extreme as you say, they're going to do the same to you because they might not feel that you're thinking like they're thinking. So I feel like that's a slippery slope. You can't do that because I mean that stuff like that tends to backfire, and it has been proven over and over again.
All I'm saying is cooning needs to be de-incentivized.
Okay, yeah, then I mean I agree, but we have to find some type of way, which I mean I don't know, but some type of way to do that. But as I always say, for everything, as I always say, I'm just waiting for that meteor. Grip my kids tight when that meteor comes around, and I'll be okay.
Well, you might get your wish here pretty soon.
Yes, please. So I can wake up like, so then I can like be reincarnated as like a freaking alien or something. And I can go invade a ship and kill all the passengers.
So anyway, is that all you had to say about Joe Rogan in this situation?
Yes, he's a babbling buffoon. He looks like Fester off the damn Addams Family. He's just babbling buffoon. Like what?
So anyway, guys, can you drop a like and a comment, and so I can get your ideas on how you feel about this situation? Peace.